Welcome to today's workout. This is Pilates and there is no equipment needed. Mat is optional, but you could also use a beach towel or whatever it is that you have at home. Also, no music again. So start your favorite playlist and let's do this. Inhale, arms up and exhale out. This time inhale, arms up, and sort of like when you first get out of bed in the morning, that like reach and stretch all the way through one side and the other side, one more. And then on your exhale, kind of circle your arms back. Good, give me little shoulder rolls right there, up and back. Work through those shoulder blades, drive your heels into the floor, pull your belly button back, and roll them forward. Just a couple more. Good, so to start today's Pilates, I want you to start with plenty of space in front of you to work. Inhale your arms up. We're going to C-curl dive it down. That means you pull your chin in towards your chest, create the greatest little C-curl you can through that spine. Start to walk your hands out on the mat, bend your knees as much as you need. Come out to plank and hold. When you get into plank, pull your belly button in towards your spine. Sort of puff your lower back up towards the ceiling. Keep your bottom nice and low. One more deep breath. Good, then right there, just shift those hips back into downward facing dog. Bend your knees as much as you need to walk your hands in. Belly button into the spine. Same sort of C-curl all the way up. Do that again, inhale. Exhale, C-curl, dive forward. Bend the knees as much as you need to bring the hands down on the floor. Walk it out and hold. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. Feel like there's a little string on your lower back and you're pulling it up towards the ceiling. Now imagine there's a little fire on the floor and you're just sort of scooping your belly button up away from that. And exhale, lift those hips into downward facing dog again. Walk those hands in, belly button in the spine, and roll it all the way up. You have two more of those. Inhale, exhale, dive forward. Walk the hands out. Hold, hold, hold. Really think about your form. Push your palms heavy into the floor and feel like you're sort of pushing the floor away from you as you kind of puff up between your shoulder blades and lift up out of those arms. Be sure there's even weight back in your feet. Nice strong plank. And when you're ready, lift your hips into downward facing dog. Walk the hands back in. Belly button into the spine and roll it all the way up last time. Inhale. Exhale, C-curl dive. Really pull that belly button in and back. Curl through that back. Hands to the floor. Remember, bend your knees as much as you need and walk out. Last plank and hold. Good. You can stay right there and hold, or you can add a little bitty shift. Forward. Press the heels back. Forward. Press the heels back. Again, it's not about momentum. It's not about being fast. It's about muscle and moving slow forward and in. Good. Teeny tiny knee tap and up. Tap. Now, if you would prefer, you can set the knee down. Take a breath. Go. Okay, we got this. And up. Set the other knee down. Deep breath. Hang on. And bring it back up. Otherwise, stay with that little knee tap and tap. Or if you would prefer, a little bitty knee pull and knee pull. Give me 4, wherever you are. 3. Last 2, puff up between those shoulder blades, pull up through the belly button, and then drop to your knees. Sit all the way back into child's pose. Nice job. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Good, and then bring yourself all the way up. Sitting right over onto your side for me. I want you to plant one hand. Fingertips can go wherever you're going to be most comfortable. The goal is that when you come up into this side plank, your shoulder is directly over your wrist. So shooting up on one knee, lift the arm, long stretch through the top part of the body, and set it all the way down. You have 3 more. If you would prefer, you can shoot the bottom leg out and stretch. And all the way down. Stay on one knee. Shoot the leg out or stack the feet and all the way down. Last one. All the way up. Stagger the feet. Stack the feet. Lift the leg. Lots of options. And all the way down. Just shift those feet around for me, right into the other side. Good. So start on one knee. Go for that shoulder directly over the wrist so you don't impinge your shoulder. Lengthen the top leg out and reach for it. Long stretch through that top part of the body. And set those hips all the way down. You could also stagger the feet, straighten that bottom leg out, reach forward and stretch. And all the way down. 2 more. Stay on the knee, stagger the feet, or stack the feet, stretch and reach for it. And all the way down. Last one. Knee, staggered, stacked, or lifted. Deep breath. And bring that all the way in and down. Roll right over onto your seated position. Inhale. Exhale, just the top half to start with. We're going to start really working on that spinal mobility. So I want you to kind of curl into your spine. Pull your belly button scooped into it. And lift right back up. Nice. Pull into that back. And lift up. Scoop, pull into it. And come up. One more. Scoop back and pull into it. Turn your palms straight down. Lean back so that your hands are over your knees. If your lower back is talking to you, or if your belly button's starting to stick out instead of scoop in, come up just a little bit. Otherwise, stay right there. Knee lift to tap the hand and lower. 7 and lower. So think about that little Kegel squeeze, that internal tightening that I'm on a road trip, next bathroom's 500 miles away. That little tighten right there. Belly button in towards your spine. Lift and lower. Just 2 more. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And roll that all the way up. Good. Swing those feet back around for a tabletop position. In tabletop, very similar to plank. Feel like you're puffing up between your shoulder blades and pushing the floor away from you. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. And try to keep your back up. So you're trying to avoid this sort of sunk down feeling and staying in this sort of pulled up and back feeling. Good, right there. Little cat back. As you do so, lift one knee, tuck your knee towards your nose, and then lift back into table. Switch sides for me. Tuck and back. Little bitty tuck, knee to nose, and back. Scoop your belly button in towards your spine. Give me the tightest little crunch you can right there. And back down. 4 more. A little tuck. And down. 3. And down. 2. 1 more little tuck. Good. Stay puffed up between the shoulder blades. Lift up towards the ceiling. And lift your right arm out overhead for me. As you do so, lengthen your left leg, opposite leg back, and lift it just slightly hovering over the floor. Anywhere between the floor and hip height is fine, so long as you don't feel yourself sinking down to lift your leg, but you're able to keep the lower back super lifted and press into that. Good, right there. Just open 3 or 4 inches, arm and leg out to the side and back to center. Open out to the side, squeeze with the back of the leg, squeeze the shoulder, back to center. How straight can you make your arm and leg as you swing out to the side? Back to center. 1 more, scoop that belly button and lift the lower back out to the side, back to center. Bring it in, switch right over for me. Right leg back, left arm overhead, so opposite arm from leg. Start to lift that leg just to hover over the floor. Now, anywhere between right there that your belly button stays scooped in and your back stays up, you can start to lift that leg. Just don't let the back arch. Squeeze and hold. Now, open to the side just a couple inches, doesn't have to go very far, and swing back into center. Just enough that when you go out to the side, you feel a little more squeeze in the muscle, and then back to center. You got this. 2 more. out to the side, back to center. You're there, you can do this. Out to the side, hold, back to the center. Bring it into tabletop. Scoop the belly button in as you sit the hips back towards the heel. One deep inhale. And exhale, right back up. Good. Back into that opposite arm from leg. You're gonna lengthen that left leg back, reach the right arm overhead, bring them slightly higher. Now combine the two exercises. When you were bringing your knee to your nose, you were sort of curling that back in. Bring your elbow to your knee and then lengthen out to hover and hold. Again, don't speed it up. Squeeze, hold, and lengthen, hold, so that it's all muscle and it's not momentum. It's not you swinging and kicking, but really strengthening and working. One more. Tuck and hold. Lengthen and hold. And switch right over to the other side. Leg back, arm out, lift up slightly. Really curl that back like you're going to touch your nose to your knee, but it's actually your elbow. And lengthen out. Scoop and tuck. And lengthen out, hold. Two more, don't speed up. Tuck, hold, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lengthen, hold, tighten those muscles. One more. Scoop and hold. Lengthen and hold. Bring the hands down, tuck your toes under right there. Lift your hips right up into downward facing dog for me. Good. Right there, I want you to move one foot into the center of the mat. Lift the opposite leg and give me 4 slow kicks. So it's like you're dragging your toe down the wall and lifting as high as you can, belly button into the spine. Drag that foot down slow and lift up nice and slow. Drag down slow. Lift up nice and slow. Last one, here's number 4. Scoop the belly button in. Pull the lower back up and drop that foot down. Right away, switch over. Lift the opposite leg up, slow. Now, if you have blood pressure issues and staying in downward dog is not good for you, if it makes you feel lightheaded, if it is not comfortable for you, you can do the same move on your hands and knees. Lift up, squeeze with the glutes slow. Lower down, really control, touch the floor. Last one, lift up. Drag it down. Drop back down into that tabletop position. Same thing. Push the floor away from you. Kind of scoop and puff up. Tuck the toes. We're going to lift the knees just to hover. So it's like I could just barely fit a piece of paper between your knees and the mat. Pull your belly button in and up. Puff up between your shoulder blades. Tighten all those muscles from the legs through the hips, through the abs and back. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit that all the way down, back onto your side for those side planks again. Hand is going to go directly underneath your shoulder. So when you shift up into the side plank, glance down and be sure that your shoulder is over your wrist. Lengthen your top leg out. Lengthen your top hand to the ceiling. Good. We're going to do 4 little twist under, look behind us. And lift up. If you would rather, you can stagger the feet, twist under, and lift up. If you would prefer, stack the feet, twist under, or just like before, you can lift that top leg, twist and look behind you. Lift, center, hold. Slowly, gently lower the hips all the way down and swing those legs around. Other side. Lift up those hips. Double check that the shoulder is over the wrist for me. Good. Lengthen the top leg out. Lengthen the top arm up to the ceiling. Give me that twist under. Look for the wall behind you. And come up. You can stagger your feet. Twist. And up. You can stack the feet. Twist. And up. Or lift the top leg. Nice and slow, twist. Lift up and super controlled. Lower the hips. all the way down. Nice and gentle. Good. Right back into that seated position. Belly button into the spine. Feel like you're trying to make your lower back touch the floor and nothing else. And lift right back up. Reach as far over those legs as you can. Tuck and roll back. 3, 2, and up. 3, 2, 2 more. Curl through that back, sort of release the lower back, work into the abdominals. Be sure that they're staying tight with all this tabletop and plank work so that you're really getting into all those core muscles, everything that hooks into your spine, from your abdominals through your back, through your hips. Take this one back and hold. Good. Right there, we're going to take one arm overhead. So just start to lengthen one arm up. When you get to the point where you're like, okay, I found my little earthquake shake, that little super shake in the abdominals. Stay there. Breathe through it. Bring it back forward. Switch for me, other side. Start to lift up. If you feel it right here, then this is where you stay. If you want to play with it, feel free to play with it and bring it back. And nice and slow, bring it back in. You have 2 more. You can do one arm, or you can do both arms. Lift and hold. Breathe through it. Find that teeny tiny shake right there in that abdominal wall. And bring it forward. You got this. If you're doing one arm, switch arms, other arm. Here we go. And breathe through it. 4, 3, 2. Bring it in. And all the way up. And again, swing those legs around for me. Good. I want you to start kind of a wide child's pose. So go ahead and bring your feet together, but bring your knees almost as wide as your mat or towel. Take your hands, walk them out nice and wide. Let your torso sort of start to drop between those legs and just stretch through the knees and the hips and the back. Use the traction of the floor of the mat. Kind of walk your hands away. Give me that super pull. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Now we're going to do a moving child's pose. So you're going to kind of imagine there's a little marble out there on the floor somewhere close to your hands. You're going to lift up, bend your elbows, bring yourself as close to the floor as you can as you keep moving forward. Walk those legs in a little bit closer for a narrow child's pose and sit all the way back. So bend those elbows, get into those triceps, keep moving forward. Lift up, scoop your belly button in, lift through the lower back and the hips, and shift your weight all the way back. Nice and slow, 2 more. Reach forward. When you lift up, use your abdominal and back muscles to scoop and pull you in. Last one, bend those elbows forward, scoop up in and back, and hold right there. Good. Walking yourself out all the way down on the mat. Walk your feet in just as close as you can right here. So your big toes are basically touching. Point your toes to the top of the feet or on the floor. Hands are right next to your chest. We're going into sort of a cobra stretch. So I want you to squeeze right in through these back muscles. Lift yourself up. It's really not pushing with your hands. It's lifting through those muscles. Now use the hands and feel like you're pulling yourself forward. So if you were to move, it's like you would just sort of scoot yourself forward across the floor, but you're not moving. So you're going to lift with the back muscles, not the hands. Pull forward with the hands and set that all the way down. 2 more. Lift with the back muscles. Use the traction of the hands to pull yourself. Lengthen through that spine and set that all the way down. Last one, lift. Pull into that forward and sink all the way down. Good, laying flat on the mat. Lengthen your arms out from your shoulders so your hands are straight out overhead as much as your body's going to allow. And you need to listen to your shoulders. If your shoulders need your arms to be a little bit wider, take them wider. And if the flexibility in those muscles needs the elbow to stay bent, then keep the elbow bent. Good. Scoop your belly button in and up off the mat. Press your lower back up like there's a weight on your lower back and you're trying to sort of push into it. Now lift your right arm, left leg, and lower. Left arm, right leg, and lower. Right arm, left leg, lower. Left arm, right leg. 2 more full sets, alternating. Opposite arm from leg lifts, puff up the lower back, pull the belly button in. Other side. 2 more sets, just like that. Lift and lower. This is the last one. Lift. Now, sort of like Superman, I want you to lift your hands and your feet up off the floor, and then I want you to paddle your little hands out like you're swimming. I want it to be the smallest swim that you can, like you're trying not to make a splash in the water. So keep it teeny tiny, and now make it as fast as you can, even though it's small, like something is chasing you in the water. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and set it all the way down. 1 more full set, so we start slow. Right arm, left leg, and lower down. Left arm, right leg, and lower down. Right arm, left leg, and lower. Left arm, right leg, and lower. Inhale, and exhale. Such good work. I hope that you're not sitting there eating cereal, but you're actually doing this with me, right? Just making sure. Just double checking. Last one like that. Lift up like Superman. Make your swim so small that if your kids walked in the room, they'd be like, dude, what do you do? Well, they might say that anyway. They'd be like, what are you doing? Because I don't even hardly see you moving. And then you know that you're doing it exactly right for 4, 3, inhale. Exhale, and then bring those hands in. Tuck the toes before you lift up and back. Then point the toes again for child's pose. Beautiful. Good. I want you to walk yourself out. I want you to plant your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Turn your palms straight down onto the floor. And if you opened your palms nice and wide, your thumbs would not quite touch because your hands are shoulder width apart. Tuck your belly button into your spine, puff up through your lower back, and lift up and get as much of your thighs as possible off the floor. Now tuck your toes, get your kneecaps off the floor. And then nice and slow, lift one knee and set it down. Lift the other knee. Now, if you have scooped your lower back and your belly button up nice and high, really puffing up towards the ceiling, and you have this teeny tiny spot right above your kneecap that's touching the floor, holding you, all it takes is that little straighten of one knee, and your abs get nice and tight for me. And then switch. Hold, hold, hold. Now, if you would prefer on the next 4, you can take both knees up, slightly tap. Both knees up or one knee, slightly tap. 1 more on each side or 2 more. Hold and lower. Last one. Hold and lower. Walk yourself all the way in and up and swing those legs around for me. Good. With your feet planted flat on the floor, your knees bent nice and close. Take your hands and place them behind you about 5 or 6 inches away from your hips. Now the crease of the elbows needs to be towards you, and your fingertips really need to be towards your hips for this one. Bend your elbows as if you were going to set your elbows down on the floor, but don't. And straighten your elbows up. So you're going to bend back, back, and up. Bend back, back, up. 1 more slow, back, and up. It's all about the bend and straighten of the elbows. So you have 8, 7, 6. So ideally somewhere right around here, the back part of that arm, the part that keeps waving when you've stopped waving, the triceps, that's the part that's starting to get nice and warm. 1 more. Take it back and hold, bend those elbows. Hold 4, 3, 2. Now don't really move. Just push your hands really hard into the floor. Push, push. 4, 3. I hope I'm not the only one feeling this. 2, 1. Nice and slow, straighten those elbows all the way up. Now I need to warn you on the second set. There's going to be this temptation if you lift your hips to do this, but if you notice my arms are doing Zipola, please, please, please don't do that. You're better off to leave your hips on the floor, but if you would like, lift your hips, same move. Bend the elbows, straighten the elbows. Slow, lower, lift, lift. Slow, bend, lift. One more slow, bend, lift. Now, smooth, but a little bit faster. 7, bend and straighten the elbows. The arms should be getting all of it. It's not about moving your hips. 4, 3, last 2 like that. Bend down, static hold. Isometric hold, no moving, just holding, still breathing. Now the pulse is just push with palms, push with the palms. 6, 5, you can do this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the elbows, set those hips all the way down. Oh, bring those arms forward. Bring one hand overhead, a little tricep stretch, look up nice and tall. And lift those arms up and switch. Other hand behind the head. Beautiful. Leaving your legs straight right there. I want you to make a little diamond hands for me. And I want you to start to lean back. At any point that you feel your abs tighten, that's the point that you go to. So this isn't about imitating me. It's just about leaning back until you go, okay, they are super tight, like little steel bands. Make those diamond hands and give me a chest press. In and out. 7, 6, 5, 4 more. Create resistance. 3, like you're pushing something heavy. 2, turn those hands out, palms up. Bicep curl and open. 7, 6, like you're moving through mud. So resist on the in, resist on the out. 4, 3, 2 more. Open out and hold, palms in towards each other. Little T arms. So right here, it should get super heavy, little shaking in the abs. And in, open, and in. Drive your heels super heavy down into the floor. Press your legs down like there's little steel bands holding them down against the floor. And squeeze. 3, 2. Now just sort of icing on the cupcake. Hold it out. Or little circles. 3, 2. Circle the other way if you're going. 3, 2. Bring the hands in first. Pull the belly button into the spine. Tighten the abs. Pull yourself all the way up. Nice job. Same basic moves. We're going to do each side. So roll over onto one hip for me. Cross your ankles. And you're balancing like on a thumbtack. So you have your feet on the floor. One teeny tiny part of that bottom hip on the floor. One entire little derriere cheek all the way up off the floor. Now in that position, I want you to lean back. If you feel like holding onto your leg is going to be a better position for you, then hold on to your leg and use one hand. And then on the other side, you'll use the other hand. Otherwise, diamond hands. Into the chest, press, release. Lean back far enough. There you're getting into these little side muscles, the obliques. In and press. 4 like that. 3, 2. Bicep curl, so palms up to the ceiling. Pull and resist. Now you can swing your arms all day and not get as much out of it as if you resist on the in, resist on the out, like you're moving through water or mud. 2, 1, reach those palms towards each other, open to a T, and in. Can you lean 1 more inch back? Out and in. That's 4. 4 more. Open, squeeze. 3, 2. Hold them out. Stay right there if you want. Or circle. 3, 2. Smile, it's not that bad. Circle. 3, 2. Bring the hands in first. Lean back 1 inch. And sit all the way up. Really try to resist that sort of sitting back where your entire bottom is on the floor. But keep yourself balanced on one little hip as much as possible. Cross the ankles first. Knees together, they stay up off the floor for me. Reach out. Everybody go ahead and grab onto that leg first. So you kind of get yourself into that lean back, shifting over onto that hip position. Remember, you can do it all right here or both hands. In and press. In, press. Don't just swing the arms. Really think about, like, what if I was doing a push-up and I was pushing my weight away from the floor? 3, 2. Here's that bicep curl, lengthen out, palms up. Pull and resist. Do not just flop those arms around. 6, just like that. Roll way over on one hip. Get this top hip as high as you can. One cute little cheek all the way off the floor. 4, 3, 2. Open those arms out, palms towards each other, open to a T, and squeeze. Open, and squeeze. Open, and open. You have 4 like that. 3, can you lean back 1/2 inch? Open those arms out to a T. Hold, 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 or circle. 3, 2, and other way, circle. 3, 2, and all the way up. Nice job. I'm gonna turn my mat just a little bit. Good. So with those knees bent, I want you to grab onto the back of your knees. Press your belly button into your spine. It's sort of that C curl practice. Keep the chin away from the chest enough that your airway is open. Lift up. Press your chest forward, look at the ceiling and stretch. C curl back. Lift and extend on the up. 2 more, C curl back. Lift and extend up. C curl back. And up. Good. We're going for roll-ups. I want you to find where you go back, but you can still come back up to seated. So if you lay flat on the floor and you get stuck like a little cockroach, then maybe you shouldn't go all the way to the floor. So we're gonna take it back till we go, okay, that's it, that's all I've got today. And lift up. Or maybe it's, that's all I have left after what you already made me do, lady. And back up. Good. If you would prefer to get closer to the shoulder blades, get closer to the shoulder blades. And bring it back up. Now think about what's happening with your feet. Drive them into the floor. When you pick your feet up, you're using the weight of your legs to pick you up. And I want you to use all that core strength. Or if you'd rather all the way out, bent knee, roll up. Roll it back and hold. Roll it back up. Give me one more. Inhale as deep as you can on the back. Exhale on the up. And then straighten your legs out. Same move. Tuck the lower back towards the floor. And come right back up. If you get to about here and your feet start floating, don't go quite so far. Drive those heels in, force them not to help you. So by driving them into the floor, you force the legs not to take over, and you really keep it right in here for me. Back, and up. Give me 2 more wherever you are. Remember, if you'd rather to go all the way back. And up. Super controlled. Back. And up. And then keep those legs straight. Good. Roll back. Open one arm overhead. Bring it in, same arm. Open it to the side. Same arm still. Press it into the floor. Now when you press into the floor, you should feel this extra little tightening for me. And release, switch hands. So take it overhead first and bring it in. Open straight to the side, right out from the shoulder and bring it in. And then push it down into the floor. Hold, hold, hold. Really press hard so it's getting right in here and bring it up. Good, so start with the right arm and then stay with that right arm straight to the side. Lean back just enough that you get those little steel bands going through that abdominal wall. Push the hand down into the floor really hard, harder, push. There it is, left arm, overhead and in. You're going for that little bitty shaking right there. Did you find it? And in. Take that left hand, push it down into the floor really hard. Good. 2 more sets. You can do it all on the right and all on the left, or you can take both hands. Overhead, squeeze your belly button into your spine. Do that Kegel squeeze. And in. Open to a T. Hold, hold, hold. And in. Press both hands into the floor. Lean back just a little bit. Press harder with your hands. Harder. And bring it in. Left arm or both arms. Overhead, hold. Drive your legs down into the floor and bring it in. Open to a T. Do that Kegel. Belly button into the spine. Bring it in. Take it down. Press your hands into the floor super hard. Harder. Hardest. And bring it all the way up. Walking your hands forward. Just a little forward fold and stretch. Good. Planting your feet on the floor. I want you to roll all the way back and down, but I want you to go with me. So slow down. All right. 8, 7, 6, maybe your low back touches. 5, you're not even halfway. 4, 3, getting close to the shoulder blades. 2, the shoulders come down. 1, release your head, neck, and inhale those arms overhead. Beautiful job. And bring those hands down by your side. Good, we're gonna work in a tabletop position. So I want you to start by lifting one foot up. Knee is gonna be directly over the hip. Ankle is in line with the knee, and if you flex your foot, you can't see your toes up here, but they're low enough that they're hidden behind your knee. Pull your belly button into your spine. Do not arch your back. Place your fingertips right next to your belly button. Don't let anything move as you pick the other foot up and hold. So that's your tabletop position. If your lower back starts talking to you and you don't really like this, you can pull your knees in slightly, place your hands just up underneath your bottom and press your feet back out away from you. The thing is, I need everybody to push their knees far enough away that you already, again, have that little steel band feeling going through the abdominal wall. Good, now it's a heel tap. The temptation is going to be to bend your knee. I want you instead to take your femur bone, your thigh bone, push your knee away from you, tap the heel, and bring it back in. Push it out away from you, tap your heel, and bring it back in. So your hands can be underneath your hip, tap, and in, tap. You can take your hands on either side of your hips, just press them down into the floor. Tap, and in. Don't bring those knees too close to you. Keep them far enough out. This in is still a working position. It's not a position, you can take your hands over your chest. When your knees come in, you're not relaxed. You don't go, oh, I'm so glad I'm back in tabletop. That's so easy. No, it's really more of a, my knee came in, there's no release in this, is there, crazy lady? Take the same hand as leg overhead if you would rather for the last 2 sets. And in. Tap the heel to reach. And in. Tap the heel, reach. And in, last one like that. Tap the heel, reach. And in. And knees all the way in towards your chest. Good. Rock your knees side to side just enough that you kind of feel your lower back massaged against the floor by the weight of your legs. You can stir them in a little circle if you prefer. If you do that, just do 3 or 4 in one direction and then switch for me and do 3 or 4 in the other direction. Good. And then roll yourself right over onto your side. Good. Go ahead and cradle your head and start with your legs nice and straight. I want you just to do a straight leg lift and lower, lift and lower. 5, 4, 3, 2. Stay at the top and hold. It's just a little bitty 1-inch move. Start to drop, lift, start to drop. Now think about where you're working. Squeeze on the outer thigh. Squeeze. 4 like that. Pull your belly button into your spine. Lift up through here so that you're not just collapsing down on the floor. 2. Hold it up. 8 circles, nice and small. 6. 4 more. And teeny circles the other direction. You got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right there, bend both knees, bring them in. Same thing, lift, take the whole leg with you. Don't leave the foot down on the other foot. 6, 5. Last 4 like that. Just nice little soft lift and lower. 2. You're going to take it up to the top and hold, and it's that little 1 inch. Start to drop and squeeze. 6, 5. You got this. 3 like that. Now hold that knee up, and with your kneecap right there, draw those teeny tiny circles. Stay in one direction. Pull your belly button into your spine. 4, 3, 2, circle the other way. Nice and small. Really think about the circle coming from your knee. So the foot is not what's moving, it's the thigh bone, this femur bone moving for you. 2 and 1. You have 1 more set, third set with this leg. You can keep your knee right here, or you can straighten it out towards your computer or phone or whatever you're watching this on. Lift and lower. 7, 6, 5, 4 more. 3, 2. Try to be sure your leg is not pointed way down there towards your mat, but it's pointed straight out in front of you. Now give me that 1 inch and lower. 7, 6, 5, 4. Lean forward a little bit. 3. Did it get a little harder? 2. Give me those 8 circles. 7. Halfway. 4, 3. Push the foot a little further away from you and circle the other direction. 6, 5. You're almost there. Don't give up. 2 and 1. Bend that knee in. Open your arms out to a T. Try to really stack those knees. Push that top leg forward until you get a stretch both in the low back and in the hip. And then bring your hands forward and up and over. We'll finish that stretch in just a second. So start laying on your side, cradle your head, legs are straight out, and it's just that very basic lift and lower, lift. 6, 5, 4, 3. Hold it at the top. Give me that little drop, squeeze. Little drop, just squeeze the leg. And squeeze. And squeeze. You have 4, 3, 2. Here's those 8 circles in one direction. Press out through the heel, take the whole leg with you. And then stop at the top and circle 8 times in the other direction. Now always remember the second side was the one pushing down to balance you on the first side, so it will get tired faster. 2, 1. Bend your knees and bring them in. Good. Take the whole leg on the lift and lower. It's not super high. I don't want you to shift your weight back. I want you to stay forward with your shoulders stacked and your hips stacked and lower. 4, 3. Take it up to the top and hold. It's that little drop. Squeeze the hip. You want to finish all the same exercises on the second side that you did on the first side because you want to be even. Otherwise, you're like a shopping cart with a bad wheel and you go slightly to the side all day long. 3. You can do this. 2. Almost through with set 2. 8 little circles with the kneecap. 6, 5. When you finish this, you get to stretch. You are there. You can do this. 2. Circle the other way 8 times. Whole thigh is going with you. 4, 3, 2. Good. Keep the knee bent if you did on the first side, but if on the first side you straighten that leg on this side for me. Lift and lower. Really push those toes straight out towards the computer screen or the TV or whatever you're watching on. That's 6. That's 5. 4, all the way up, all the way down. 3, 2, 1 inch. Drop and lift. Yes, this side should be harder, but push through it. Think about your breathing. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. This is the part of the workout where it gets to be sort of a mental battle. 2, you can do it. 8 circles. Bring that leg further up towards you. Don't let it go down towards your mat. 4, 3, other direction, and you're there. You've got this. Breathe through it. 4, 3, 2. Nice job, you did it. Stack those knees, push the top knee forward, open your arms out to a T on the floor. Stretch through your low back, slight stretch through that hip. That was it. You made it, just a little stretching and you're there. Good, roll yourself over onto your back. Cross one ankle over the opposite knee and pull that in. That should feel really good on those hips that you were just working. Super deep inhale. And on your exhale, just feel your whole body sort of melt down. Let go of any tension. Let go of any worries. Let go of any stress. And switch for me. Opposite ankle over the knee. Pull those in towards you. Nice little stretch through the outside of that hip. Super deep inhale. Exhale, feel like you just sort of melt down into the floor. And release that down. Grab onto one knee, let that pull you all the way up to seated. Good, coming in a nice little easy seated position. Walk your hands forward, but feel like your hips are super heavy and let your hips sort of press in and down towards the floor. So instead of rocking your weight forward onto your feet and your shins, you're really pushing your hips heavy and back into the floor, stretching through those hips. And walk that back in and up. Grabbing one knee, looking as far behind you as you can, little twist. And switch, grab on to the other knee and twist. And then switch legs for me. So this is what I always call sort of the wonky side. It's not the side you would naturally cross your legs in. You did that first, usually. Walk your hands forward and have that same feeling of pressing your hips in and down, super heavy in towards the floor. And lay your chest just as far forward as your body's going to allow. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And on your next exhale, sit all the way up for me. Good, same thing. Grab onto one knee, pull yourself into a little back twist. And switch sides. Pull yourself into a little back twist. Nice job. Lengthening both legs out, walking your hands forward, pulling on your shins, or maybe if you're feeling super flexible today, pulling on your toes, and letting yourself just melt forward over those legs. Little hamstring stretch. Good. When you inhale, I want you to inhale so deep, it's like your torso sort of lifts up away from your legs. And when you exhale, I want you to feel like you just release your back and legs and melt all the way down. Do that one more time for me. Super deep inhale. And super deep exhale. Beautiful. Swinging those knees all the way around for me. Tabletop position. Shift your hips to one side, look as far as you can over your shoulder towards that hip, and switch to the other side. One more time, just moving that spine laterally, looking towards one hip, looking towards the other hip. Tuck those toes under and lift your hips right up into downward facing dog. If your heels are touching the floor, just stay there. Press your heels down, lift your tailbone up. If your heels are not quite touching the floor, give me a little bitty walking in the dog. Press one heel in and switch and press the other heel in. Switch back to the first side and switch to the other side. And then one more time, try to press both heels down, lift your tailbone up. Feel like you're pushing with your hands, so you're trying to press your belly button towards your thighs. And then slowly start walking your hands in towards your feet. Good, tucking your belly button into your spine, rolling your back all the way up, and coming all the way up to standing for me. Good, 2 deep breaths. Inhale. On the exhale, imagine you're dragging your hands against the back wall. Do that again for me, super deep. Inhale. Exhale, really open those arms wide, open through that chest. Good, go ahead and interlace your fingers for me behind your back. If you feel like you can, see if you can get your palms to touch for me. And right there, pulling your shoulders down away from your ears, drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Little neck stretch. Keep pulling down with those hands as you pull your chin to your chest. Left ear to the left shoulder. Pulling down through the arms and shoulders. And then release. Just rock forward and back. Find the weight in your heels nice and even through your feet. Shoulders down away from your ears. Nice and tall lifted. And then just like you've been doing through class, keep those abdominals tight and find that just really nice posture before you end. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a beautiful day.